Dear viewers, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. And due to lack of quorum, the speaker has directed the quorum bell to be rung for 10 minutes to allow the House to quorate as per the standing orders of the House before commencement of business of the House. You are watching us live from the National Assembly, Parliament buildings, courtesy of PBU and KBC. Just to take us through what is expected to be handled in the House this morning as per the order paper, there is expected to be a committee of the whole that will deliberate the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Services Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022, a bill that is sponsored by Honorable Dr. John Mutunga, MP. There is also expected to be a motion on outlawing discriminatory practices in learning institutions that impede access to basic education. This is a motion that has been sponsored by the Honorable Dr. Duncan Mathenge MP. And in this motion, that aware Article 53(1)(b) of the Constitution guarantees every child the right to free and compulsory basic education, and that Article 21(2) obligates the state to take legislative and policy measures to ensure the progressive realization of socio-economic rights, which includes the right to education under Article 43(1)(f). Further, aware that the Basic Education Act, Cap. 211, obligates the state and school administrators to ensure equitable access, retention, and completion in basic education, and prohibits administrative barriers that exclude learners, noting that the Children Act Cap 141 requires the best interests of the children to be the primary consideration in all actions concerning children, including in education, recognizing Kenya's international and regional obligations under Article 2 and 28 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Children, Article 13 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, Article 11 of the Africa Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, and the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO Convention Against Discrimination in Education. This House therefore resolves that, just taking you through the motion. Roman 1, all basic education institutions shall allow purchase of school uniforms from the open market as long as they generally conform to the school design and standards. Roman 2, all learners shall have uninterrupted access to school regardless of inability to pay for school feeding programs, remedial charges, development levies, or any other charges not expressly provided for under the Basic Education Act, or any other regulation approved by the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education. The Cabinet Secretary responsible for education, in consultation with the TSC, shall within 90 days develop a comprehensive regulatory and enforcement framework, including monitoring mechanisms and a compliance and redress system for parents and learners, as well as a nationwide public awareness program to ensure full compliance, and B, provide that any person or institution, action or policy that violates this resolution shall be subject to disciplinary action under the relevant statutes, including the Teachers Service Commission Act, the Basic Education Act, the Children Act, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Act. This debate is expected to resume after interruption on Wednesday, April 29th, 2026, with a balance of 1 hour 50 minutes. Dear viewers, we are still waiting for the House to quorate as per the direction of the Speaker, having said the prayer and taken the chair. The standing orders of the National Assembly require that the House, Standing Order 34.1, that the House shall quorate with a number of 50 members. If there is not a quorum present when the chair is taken at the time appointed for a meeting of the House, immediately after the saying of the prayer, the Speaker shall order the bell to be rung for 10 minutes, and if no quorum is present, at the expiration of the 10 minutes, the Speaker may direct that the bell be rung a further 5 minutes, and if there is still no quorum present, the Speaker shall adjourn the House forthwith to the next sitting. So that's what we are currently waiting for. I'll continue to take you through what is expected to be handled in the House this morning, Wednesday morning. On the order paper, order number 10, the Penal Code Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 53 of 2024 by the Honorable Anthony Oluoch MP. This is a bill that is at the second reading stage. There will be also a consideration of motion, sustainable management and valorization of organic waste from avocado processing. A motion by the Honorable Mary Wamaua, MP. This is a motion that is seeking the House to resolve that the national government formulates an avocado waste management and valorization policy to provide for, Roman 1, sustainable avocado waste management and valorization, including research, training, and technology transfer to farmers and provision of processors on modern waste management and valorization practices with the aim of reducing pollution, improving public health, and creating jobs in the avocado producing regions. Roman 2, there's a motion that seeks the House to resolve that the promotion of investment and innovation by providing subsidies, incentives, and technical support for waste to value initiatives such as biodigesters, biorefineries, and other circular economic solutions. And Roman 3, collaboration mechanisms of the national government and the county governments and private sector partners in sustainable
stop the bell.
Avocado waste management.
I think informed that we can transact business.
I will hand
Order
over
number 1,
to the House.
administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Proceed, Madam Naomi.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 10th June, 2026, morning sitting. Number 1, legal notice number 91 of 2026, relating to the standards market civilians regulations 2026 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry. Number 2, the agreement between the government of the Republic of Kenya and the government of the Republic of Angola on defense cooperation from the Ministry of Defense. And 3, reports of the Auditor General and financial statement for the years ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, 30th June 2024, and 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of the following schools. Number 1, Holy Cross Boys Secondary School, West Pokot. 2, Honorable D.M. Amin Girls Day Secondary School. Number 3, Kapenguria School. 4, Rabai Secondary School. And 5, St. Peter's Clever Secondary School, Kiduki. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, the chair budget.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the House. Today, Wednesday, 10th June 2026, report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of the Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that pursuant to the provisions of Article 113, sub 2 of the Constitution and the Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 10th, 2026, and approves the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2, 2026. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
The honorable member for North Horr. Is he in the House?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the deplorable state of road networks in Northern Constituency, Marsabit County. Honorable Speaker, the Shur Jaldesa Road and Turbi Forole Dukana Ileret Road are critical transport corridors serving thousands of residents, schools, health facilities, and livestock markets within Northern Constituency. Particularly, Shur Jaldesa and neighboring areas. However, the two roads have deteriorated significantly due to prolonged neglect, inadequate maintenance, and the absence of proper drainage infrastructure, rendering them impassable. The poor condition of these roads has had far-reaching consequences on the lives and livelihoods of the residents. Public service vehicles, ambulances, and other essential transport services are often unable to access affected areas during rainy season, effectively isolating entire communities. Economic activities have equally been disrupted, with traders unable to transport food supplies and essential commodities, thereby worsening food insecurity and increasing the cost of living within the constituency. Honorable Speaker, despite the matter having been raised with the Kenya National Highway Authority, the response and intervention on the affected roads remain inadequate and unsatisfactory. The poor road infrastructure, coupled with the vastness of the northern constituency, which spans approximately 40,000 square kilometers, has resulted in continued exclusion of residents from connectivity to essential services and economic opportunities. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, reasons for the delayed rehabilitation and maintenance of the critical roads within Northern Constituency, despite their importance to security and economy. 2, immediate measures being taken by the ministry through Kenya National Highway Authority to restore the Turbi Forole Dukana Ileret Road and the Shur Jaldesa Road to motorable condition. 3, long-term plans by Kenya to upgrade Shur Jaldesa Road and Turbi Forole Dukana Ileret Road to all-wheeler gravel or bituminous standard, specifying the budget allocation and implementation timelines. And finally, action being taken by KERA in collaboration with Kenya to address inequality in road infrastructure development by reviewing the model for road infrastructure funding in order to guarantee equity in infrastructure development and expand the road network to match the vastness of Northern constituency. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Where is the chair of transport? Yes, proceed, committee member.
Honorable,
order, just, yes, Honorable Raso Dido, retired colonel.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the statement by my colleague from North. The future of this country, and especially the future of the North, is on infrastructure. Unless you open up this region that is rich in mineral resources, rich in energy resources, rich in livestock.
The committee member for transport, you're not supposed to engage in another conversation with another member. Listen to what's being said. Please.
Mr. Speaker, even as far as security is concerned, today the government is doing a lot. Having opened Isiolo Moyale, they're working on opening Isiolo, Garbatula, Madogashe, Wajir, all the way to Mandera. These infrastructures are game changers. And in the fullness of time, Kenyans will realize, had we opened up the north, then a lot of things we are experiencing in the center here will never have happened. So for that reason, Honorable Speaker, while it appears to be far-flung, the road Marsabit, Jaldesa, Shur opens to Abjan all the way to Wajir. If that route is open, it is a game changer. The road Forole to Irret opens the region to the Omo Delta. These are extraordinary areas. If the government really looks at where do we tap resources, where do we put more resources so that we get out of those lands, then infrastructure is the answer, and I support that statement. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, please proceed. You can see the
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The importance of the question which is being sought by a member for North Horr. The future of this country depends on the North. The future of the country depends on areas that have got untapped, powerful mineral resources, what you call rare earth minerals and everything, and wind power. So give us an undertaking when that...
Honorable Speaker, I can't agree more. I'm one of the converted souls that believe that the northern frontier is the next development area of our region. Together with our oceans and our lakes, create all the infrastructure around them to be able to move our country forward. Honorable Speaker, I would want to commit to the member that we are going to look into that and probably supply the answer to that question in the next 2 weeks before we go on recess in July.
2 weeks is too long. 2 weeks is too long
Honorable
for people
Speaker,
to get those services.
No, Honorable Speaker, we are meeting the agency, the PS, next week. So I was imagining that after next week we can be able to supply.
But you just don't have to wait for that formal meeting. You can still...
Or we can invite the member actually to join us.
Precisely.
We can invite the member to join us for a preliminary answer while we debate and discuss the question with the ministry. Therefore, thereafter, we will supply the answer to the floor of the House in 2 weeks.
Member, are you comfortable with that? Yes, the honorable member trying to, yes, from a one of the neighboring constituents, I know.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. it is really very important that the transport, and more so on matters security, the way Isiolo and other regions are problem because of security roads. It's the way Baringo South also has the same problem. And I fail to understand, when a region has been gazetted as dangerous zone on matter security, and the concerned department does not consider roads, how shall we achieve this security when we don't have roads? Mukutane is a very serious area. We have raised the same all through, and I don't know if we are...
Order, honorable member. This matter concerns a road in North Hor. You have done well with the generalities, yes, all areas, but don't hijack it.
I don't hijack, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Honorable member, the specifics are, members put it very well. And that area is prone to across boundaries sometimes insecurities. So in the event that there's a serious insecurity and you don't have a roads infrastructure that essentially will enable our security forces and agents to intercept and act with speed, then how do we also guarantee the security as a member for Baringo adds that? Okay, proceed. On the basis of that, with the full understanding of that, the agency now give us an undertaking.
For clarity also, Honorable Speaker, the executive order that was released in, I think last year,
yes,
put the security roads as part of the function of the Ministry of Interior. So while the Ministry of Roads remains with the classification
yes,
of the roads, the implementing agency is the Ministry of Interior. So probably we can be able also to look together the question about security within the road sector of those roads that have been gazetted as security roads, so that we can have a collaborative...
Because of the emergency nature, if I were you, and I'm a member of a ranking member of that committee, I would give an undertaking to the House that I will work with a member of Parliament concerned to the officers of the Minister for Security. While you are giving this undertaking also for that, a very elaborate statement or response to or other statements will be given, but at the same time, agency dictates that you also do an urgent action on that.
Much obliged.
Can you give that undertaking?
Yeah, much obliged.
So the two of you will walk to the Minister's office?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So in 2 weeks' time, you'll get the full statement, but in the meantime, the Honorable Member for North Hor, you work with this very dedicated member of the committee to Honorable Murkomen's office and see if you can get an immediate response on that. When I say immediate, I mean immediate action. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that was raised several times, both with the Minister of Interior and also with the Minister of Roads. So I think this time they should be serious and we really need action so that they can really give us an actionable points so that these roads can be worked on. Thank you very much.
The two of you walk to that place, and I expect the two of you, or rather, the committee member, also to come and report back to the House and say, this is what we've achieved.
Thank you.
As soon as possible, in addition to that, what do you call, elaborate statement that will be given in 2 weeks' time. MP for Honorable Abubakar Talib is also seeking a statement, a nominated MP. Where is he? He is not in the office. I direct that this statement be listed on the order paper at an appropriate day when the honorable member is in the House to prosecute his request for a statement. Next order.
Order number 8, Committee of the Whole House.
Yes. Honorable members, we are in the committee of the whole House. And the bill on the desk is the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022. You can see the chairman is in the House. Chairman, are you ready? Thank you.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Chair, you have an amendment?
Yes, we have an amendment as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. I see the Honorable Beatrice Elachi. Honorable Beatrice Elachi, are you? Is it on this matter? No. There be no other interests. I put the question. Yes, Chairman. Member for Rindikiri.
I think I support this amendment, Madam Chair, because there is the need for the extension services be linked with research and the farmers. That has been missing in the previous bill, and therefore I think this amendment is coming handy, because now we need to focus on the farmer, and the farmer cannot be reached without extension services. And also we need to collect a lot of data and information that goes towards enhancing the farming community. So I support this amendment.
Thank you, Chair. You're aware that it has two aspects. There is paragraph B and there is E. So, honorable members, I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Chair.
I move that clause 4 be amended as per the recommendations of the Agriculture Committee, Madam Chair. The justification is that this will ensure that the National Extension Policy captures modern technology innovations to ensure that extension service is modernized. And B, to put an emphasis on the county government and not county executive committee member.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I see interest from the Honorable Justice Kemei, member for Sigowet-Soin.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to support the amendment.
Is that mic working? I would like that mic to work. Or move to another mic that is working. Next one. You have the next one.
Madam Chair, I support the amendment by the Agriculture Committee, and we cannot divorce technology from extension services these days. And equally, Madam Speaker, the chief executive of the county is not the person responsible for all affairs in the county. It should be the governor. Therefore, I support that the amendment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Dr. John Mutunga, Chairman, Agriculture.
Chair, we discussed this issue at the committee level, and we realized that in the entire bill, there's a reference of CEC. We believe that in future, CEC might change to something different. So we believe committing the county government as they are is the best way to position the bill. Secondly, we needed to introduce technology into this bill. When it came from Senate, there was nothing on ICT, so we have introduced changes that bring about use of ICT in extension. Thank you.
Buri.
You know, Madam Chair, the world is moving towards quick transmission of information. There is a lot of advice that in the international arena that we all stay connected with the other sectors. Agriculture is not alone. There's the manufacturing, there's the trade, etc. So by bringing in the issue of technology, it comes handy. Number two, Madam Speaker, the issue of innovation. We are encouraging a lot of creativity and innovation in agricultural sector, which has delayed for a long time. And I think to move this country forward, we need really to encourage innovations, and the innovations cannot come without involving the entire chain of the administration, that's the county government. And therefore, Madam Speaker, it is very important that really we adopt this amendment as proposed by the committee.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 4 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill, Chair. Honorable Osero.
I propose that the House adopts the recommendations as per the order paper.
Would you like to tell us the purpose of the deletion, the justification for the deletion?
Justification.
In subclauses 1 and 3, just for the House to understand what we are doing.
Madam Chair, this is to put an emphasis on the county government and not the county executive committee member, so that the county government owns the entire process.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Kamuren, member for Baringo South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In fact, I am concerned with this county government, the wisdom behind it. Because when you say county government, sometimes legally, it's not a responsibility of a specific executive officer concerned. It is open-ended. Legal, nobody will be responsible. But the way it was, as county executive committee member, somebody is responsible on giving directives and directions over this. So when you open it to county government, what's the wisdom behind it? We need a clear explanation about this one. Otherwise, in counties, people are sometimes lazy in taking responsibilities, and the farmers will suffer.
Chairman, Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, we all realize that county government configuration of their executives is not a preserve of ourselves, the national government, and there is no standard formula that is prescribed for them to give that configuration. You can be in charge of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and environment. So tomorrow we might have somebody who is extremely different in this particular position. So it's only the county government who will know who will be in charge of extension, agricultural extension at the point in time. And that is why we are avoiding giving specific titles at the moment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members. I now propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 6 and 7.
I propose the question that clause 6 and 7 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 6 and 7 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero, stroke chair.
I propose that the House adopts clause 8 amendment as per the order paper. The reasons being, number one is to ensure that the service managers maintain an agriculture and livestock data center as a central digital data repository linked to relevant data sources. That is at one point. Number 2 is to introduce research and extension service as a function of that service itself. Number 3 is to incorporate the use of technology in extension and service. And D, to enrich the functions of the service by including important functions that have been omitted.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Please go to the intervention button. The Honorable Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I also want to support. This will really help now in terms of research and help the farmers to understand climate change, to understand how to adapt with the diseases that we are having nowadays, and really help them in terms of also following up to know that innovations in agriculture gives you smart farming. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, looking at those amendments, it's quite a lot. So I would like the justifications to be, I can give you a minute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, we really did serious amendment on this bill. The reason being that, number 1, it completely avoided the use of ICT from Senate. So it was not up to date or in tandem with the going on now. The second issue, Chair, was that we introduced a central data repository and also an evolved level data diagnostic center, which will be coming up. So this central data repository is where we shall be having all the agricultural information from the sources. Could be from the research institutions, both national and international, could be from the universities, it could be from the experiences in the field of agricultural extension. This information will be collected and stored in an easily retrievable manner at the repository. So it became necessary because research data is scattered all over. There is need for this data to be collected and stored in an easily retrievable manner in one institution so that when county governments require this information, after they have done the diagnosis, they will be able to acquire this information from the repository other than trying to look around where the information could be gotten from.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill, Chair. There be no amendment. Chairman, I'd like to take that again. There is no amendment on clause 9, so I now put the question that clause 9 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero.
I propose that the Committee of the Whole House adopts the amendment as per the order paper.
I would like to have justification, kindly.
The justification is that the chairperson is to be appointed by the president and not the cabinet secretary. Number 2 is to ensure that the vice chairperson is appointed by the Council of County Governors, the COG. 3 is to include the Director General of the Kenya Agricultural Livestock and Research Organization, KALO, as a member of that particular board. 4, to include representation from an umbrella body of farmers' organizations in that board. And 5 is to ensure representation of agriculture and livestock extension and advisory service providers.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Kamaren.
Thank you, Speaker. Still, over the one person to be appointed by the Council of County Governors shall be the vice chairperson of the board. My concern, in which we need more explanation over this, is that don't you see there will be two center of powers when this person which is appointed by the Council of Governors will differ with the one appointed by the President? What will happen in such a scenario? Because this county government, this national government, don't you give an opportunity for the members of the board to maybe suggest the vice chair of their own, and let the county council of governors just appoint a representative of their own than to be specific to a position of a vice chair? What is the wisdom behind it?
Chairman, I'll give you the first opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. We know very well that agriculture is devolved. And being a devolved function, then it will be necessary for the county governments to feel or to be sure that they are fully represented, and effectively so. The second issue, Chair, is that this is a very important function in this country. The appointment of the chairperson was rested upon the CS, the cabinet secretary. But we know that it cuts across both national and county governments. It's a major function within the sector, and therefore presidential appointment is proposed by the committee. Now, when it comes to conflict of interest, this appointment actually is nomination. I think we might have to bring in a further amendment to say nomination of the representatives of the county governments by the COG, so that we can be able to align this properly, so that somebody doesn't feel like he is appointed and then cannot be appointed by the CS. But the CS appoints all the others, apart from the chairperson. So I beg to bring further amendment to amend that, to correct that.
Honorable Kimei. Justice Kimei, member for Sigowet.
Thank you. Sorry, Madam Chair.
I think now you now just stick to the next mic.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The reasons given by the chairman of Agriculture Committee are quite valid. We do recognize that agriculture is a devolved function. We do recognize also that the national government has a role to play in agricultural development in this country. And appointment by the president of the chairperson is as per the appointment of all other state corporations. But in recognition of the fact that agriculture is a devolved function, we thought it wise, Madam Chair, that the council governors, being the responsible body for all matters county government, nominates a person to be appointed as a vice chairperson, so that at the end of the day, while we are recognizing the role of the national government, we cannot avoid the role of the council of governors or the county government as is part the establishment of agriculture as a function. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I would like to put the question, to propose the question. Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi, member for Buri.
You know, the reason why I lose, Madam Chair, is because I come from a large-scale farming community. And I think this bill has really answered one of our players, that the farming community, particularly the large-scale farmers, are given an opportunity to be in a body like this. Secondly, Madam Chair, the professionals, particularly the ones forming the advisory services providers, it's something that has been missing. So the linkage between the farming community and the professionalism, I think, is coming handy through this bill, and therefore I support.
Honorable members, I now propose the question. I now put the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 10 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill, Chair. Honorable Osero.
I propose that the Committee of the Whole House adopts the recommendations as per the order paper. The justification.
I would like to get, the House would like to get a justification for the deletion.
The justification, Madam Chair, is to ensure a correct reference to the members of the board and to include the qualifications of the members of the board.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Honorable members, I put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 11 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 12 and 13.
I propose the question that clauses 12 and 13 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clauses 12 and 13 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero. There is an amendment on 12. There is, honorable members, there is an amendment on 12. There is a small error on the desk, but we can take it again.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero?
Propose that the recommendations as per clause 12 are adopted by the whole House as per the order paper. The justification, Madam Chair, is to introduce the procedure of removal of the board and the procedure of filling that particular vacancy.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Makalimulu, member for Kitui Central.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. I just wanted, earlier I pressed this to tell you that there was an amendment. Now that it has been explained, I think it makes a lot of sense. Although this just general requirements to get somebody out of office or put them in office.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We take note that there is a discrepancy between on the documents that we have, and I think that has already been corrected. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Honorable Osero, you have an amendment?
Yes, Madam. I propose that the amendments as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification is, number one, it will enhance the clarity on the functions of the board by ensuring that the functions reflect the mandate of that particular board. And number two, it will introduce the powers of the board in the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Those interested can hit the intervention button. I can start with the Honorable Makalimulu, member for Kitui Central.
I think it's important, Chairperson, for the mover to explain B, where it says you are deleting county executive committee and substituting thereof the whole county government. I thought the earlier one was more specific. When you say county government, it's so general. Can you just explain the reasoning behind that?
That is noted. I think before you came, there was that matter which was raised, but for the benefit of the Honorable Makalimolu and those who have walked in, can you please give us justification for this?
Thank you very much, Chair. We did look at the logic of having specific reference to a county executive member in charge of agriculture at that time, in charge of extension that time, in the bill, and bearing in mind that county governments have their own configuration of the executive. Somebody can be in charge of livestock, agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and extension. And then somebody can be in charge of agriculture and the environment. So to avoid that confusion, we decided to bestow upon the responsibility to be bestowed upon the county government as well.
Thank you very much. There is a possibility of the extension officers being from different ministries or departments. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Zero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Honorable Zero.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments, as per the order paper adopted by this House, the justification is that this particular amendment will provide a lot of clarity on the powers of the board to delegate. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I do not see anyone on the intervention button, so I now put the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 16 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 17 and 18.
I propose the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. No amendment, so I put the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 19.
I propose the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Honorable Zero.
Madam, I propose that the amendments, as per the order paper adopted by the whole House, the justification being, one, is to provide clarity on the functions of the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. Thank you.
I propose the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Zero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 19 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 20.
I propose the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Honorable Zero.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be adopted by the Committee of the Whole House as per the order paper. The justification being that this would provide clarity on the grounds for removal of the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer.
I propose the question that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Zero. I now put the question that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 20 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we proceed, I would like to recognize visitors seated in the speakers gallery this morning. We have students from Mount Kinangop Girls Secondary School from Kinangop constituency, Nyandarua County. Thank you. We have students from St. Peter Clavers Boys Secondary School from Makwiny constituency, Makwiny County. And we have students from Juja Preparatory and Senior School from Juja constituency, Kiambu County. And also, honorable members seated in the public gallery this morning, we have students from Tawa Mixed Secondary School from Boni constituency in Makwiny County. I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Makali Molu to welcome students from all these schools.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all the students and the teachers who are accompanying them to the House of Parliament. This is where laws for the country are actually legislated, Honorable Speaker. And I want to tell them that they can actually be members of Parliament in the future if they so wish. It's a matter of working hard, ensuring that you focus on your studies, and those who want to be politicians, you pursue that ambition. Otherwise, karibu sana. Asante, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Dr. Makali Mulu. Honorable members, let us proceed.
Clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I now put the question that clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 26.
I propose the question that clause 26 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero, you have an amendment?
Thank you, Chair. I propose that the amendment be adopted by the Committee of the Whole House. The justification being, it will put an emphasis on the county government and not the county executive committee member, since the bill is a national legislation.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now propose the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Mishimboko, Commissioner, do you have interest in this?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I want to support this amendment because, Madam Chair, we need to put the responsibility in case of anything to the county government, because sometimes that executive member will not be around, or rather will be, maybe sometimes they do redesignation in terms of their employees, and it is being transferred to another department, and yet you want to take responsibility on that person. So the county government need to be emphasized to be the institution which will take responsibility. I support.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. The Honorable Patrick Ntwiga, member for Chuka Igamba Ngombe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I support the amendment, but still with some doubts, reservations on it. Because, Madam Speaker, what is happening at county government, because of no specific, you know, the CEC is not a person, it's the office. So when we start saying that somebody will be moved to another department, we are not talking about the person. It's the office of the CEC Agriculture or the office of the CEC Land or Transport, the office. Because what is happening, those who have had experience with the county government, Madam Chair, nothing is moving. Even approving something small, the CEC cannot do it, the chief officer cannot do it. They must wait until the governor is available to approve. So all these offices we have in county government are just shadow offices. They do nothing. County government are being led by one individual called a governor, because everything we don't want to say, CEC will do. We don't want to say, chief officer will do. So finally, they rely on one person to approve even small things that need to be approved. So I trust on the wisdom of the committee and the whole house, but with the reservation. And finally, I want to congratulate the students who are here, Madam Chair, because they have not fallen in the trap of following peer pressure, are destroying their schools, are going home when they are supposed to be in school. So, Madam Chair, I wish to sincerely congratulate the students who are in this house today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The chair has given the justification on this, but I do not want to do it. I know those who were earlier in the house have already gotten the importance of this, but I'll give you half a minute, just for the benefit of members who have walked in, because I think you have given the justification for this earlier.
Honorable Chair, I will say something in relation to what the honorable member has said, because he has brought a different dimension. We are not saying that the office will change or the officer will change. We are actually saying that the configuration is left to the county government. Somebody in charge of extension could be taking care of extension environment, and fisheries. So if you say CEC in charge of agriculture, it will be out of order to manage these activities. So we leave the county government to configure and position this particular extension service in the right docket.
Absolutely. And I think that is the justification you had given earlier. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. And now will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I put the question that clause 26 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I propose the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification is just the same one. This is to put an emphasis on the county government and not the county executive member, since the bill is of national legislation. And B is to make reference to the correct devolved units under the county government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sero. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 27 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 27 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 28 and 29.
I propose the question that clauses 28 and 29 be part of the bill. There is no amendment, so I put the question that clauses 28 and 29 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 30.
I propose the question that clause 30 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
I propose that the amendments as per the order paper be adopted by the House, the justification being that this will put emphasis on the county government and not the CEC member, since the bill is of national legislation. Number 2 is to include the geographical space and scope that the extension service can competently cover in the register of extension service providers.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 30 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 31.
I propose the question that clause 31 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Madam Chair, I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House, the justification being it will also put emphasis on the county government and not the county executive member, since the bill is of national legislation. And this will, and this will include the position of functional technology and data centers as part of the information to be publicized in the county website. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sero. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Honorable Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, when you look at this, I think this is the most important pillar in the bill now, because we've been working on who are coordinating, but now when you come to the National Data Service Center, the most important thing is now how do we ensure that everything within the country, and that is why we support that this bill now becomes more national, because you have one data center, but that will take care of the whole country, where we shall do research, understand our soils, understand, and we are able even to question, especially in the different areas where we are saying we want the northern frontier to come up. This data center now will assist them to know what can they do in agriculture that is within livestock, but also another thing, how do you take care now of the different methods that we have within our different countries and the challenges we are facing as I said, with climate change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member for Dagoretti North. Yes, the Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi, Member for Vori.
Yeah, Madam Chair, it's just a concern after looked at what is comprising the research unit. I'm wondering where KPIs has been left out, because we are dealing with a very serious issue on pests, for example, and it should be part of the activities that the center, I think, the data that they need to be collecting. I am seeking clarification from the chair.
Honorable Chairman, would you like to make that clarification?
Yes, Chair, I think the honorable member is putting the cart before the horse. I think we wait for the next clause because it's very explicitly defined where those centers institutions.
Will they be defined in the regulations?
Yes, it is. The listing is in the next.
Oh, in the next,
clause.
okay.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. The Honorable Kamuren, member for Baringo South, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, I want to, Honorable, Chair, I want to support on this amendment for purposes of the technology and the new changes across the world, and more so with the effects of climate change, and in line with what is happening in other ministries, whereby we are even members of parliament are supporting through NGCDF the app for the young generation to be exposed and also to apply for jobs and other services, including the Huduma Center. So this one will be in line that now the Ministry of Agriculture through the counties also, they will be providing the data that is needed for exchange, and so that we can mitigate on this climate change. I support.
Thank you very much. Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu, member for Kitui Central.
Actually, Honorable Chair, the issue I wanted to raise is members are already discussing 31A instead of 31. So if you could put the question on that one, we pass it and then we move to the new clause, because that's what they're discussing.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as are that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 31 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 32.
I propose the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I propose the question that clause 33 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero. 33.
You come back to it, okay. Madam Chair, I propose that
Honorable Chair, the new clauses will come later.
Thank you. 33. Madam Chair, I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by the House. The justification is that this will replace the National Assembly and Senate with Parliament, since both houses are known as Parliament.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. I now put the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 33 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I propose the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
I propose the question that clause 35 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero.
Recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House, being the justification being that this will ensure that the Cabinet Secretary in charge cannot delay the submission of annual report and publications for more than 6 months. Thank you.
I propose the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. The Honorable Mishimboko, Commissioner.
I support this amendment, Madam Chair, because we need to put time frame. If you don't put time frame, then we'll have a lot of delays. I support.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mishi. The Honorable Patrick Ntwega, member for Chuka Igamba Ng'ombe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I stand to support the amendment because we normally make laws, but when we don't put timelines on when things should be done, we end up with the laws that are just on shelves. I was just wondering if we could have added something. What if the Cabinet Secretary doesn't do so? What happens in 6 months?
Okay. Chairman, would you like to make a comment on that?
Yeah, thank you very much for that observation, Chair. We have included penalties for non-compliance.
Okay, in another clause. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Sero. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 35 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as other opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
I propose the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero, you have an amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose that the amendment as per the order paper be adopted by the House. Reason being, this will ensure that the bill does not limit the counties on the specific legislations to legislate on. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Justice Kemei, member for Sigowet, Soin.
Madam Chair, I want to support the amendment by Honorable Osero. Madam Chair, much as we are doing national legislation, there might be issues specific to each county in this country, and we do not want to limit the county governments from doing further legislation to address specific issues in each and every in each particular county. Thank you, Madam Chair. I support.
Thank you very much, Justice. The Honorable Dr. Makalimulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chairperson, just as much as I support this amendment, I think we need to rethink the objective. The objective is to allow the county governments to be able to have their own domesticated law. So in a situation where you say they cannot, it has to be in line with the Act, and then you go to an extent of even saying regulations, because regulations are the operational instruments for the Act. How I wish you stopped at the Act and you left the regulations, because then you allow them a bit of room. But when you are saying they cannot go against the regulations, the national regulations, that becomes very restrictive, and you might not achieve your objective. So I wish you could actually move a further amendment and delete the regulations. Asante, Honorable Chairman.
Before I go to the other members who have interest in this, I would like to give the chair a minute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I would like to read this statement for purposes of clarity and especially to satisfy my very good friend. A county government may make county-specific legislations on extension services as long as they are not in conflict with this Act or any regulations made under this Act. We are recognizing this Act, and we are also recognizing the regulations that will implement this Act. So anything arising from that, the county governments, based on their specificities and peculiarities, can make their own legislations. Now we are saying after this Act, regulations will be made. Those regulations may have specifications that the county government may need to put into context when they are making their own legislations in terms of alignment.
Thank you. The Honorable Bichi Selachi, member for Dagoretti North.
Chair, I know one of the things that our Constitution says is that you will always have to respect the main act. And I think that is why Chair is telling us that, yes, the county government may make specific legislations, but you cannot have conflict with the main act. And that's the law. Because the moment you also open, you will find each county with a different legislation and doing very different things. And that's the challenge we face even in the country today, Chair. That some of the acts we do in our counties, we forget that we are a unitary state. We think our counties are federal. No, we must always respect the mother act. And this is why this act has to remain that way.
Thank you. The Honorable, I'll give you a chance after the Honorable Patrick Ntwiga, member for Chuka Igamba Ng'ombe.
Thank you, Chair. You know, the Honorable Makari is a very focused man. He's already looking at himself as a governor already and addressing things that will bring problems to him. He's solving problems that he is anticipating. But also looking at the amendment, Chair, I think I support Honorable Makari because we have not made the regulations so far. We have not seen the regulations. So what are we saying that they abide to? Are we making a law concerning regulations that we have not made? We are already quoting regulations that we have not made. I wish the amendment could go as far as the act, but not the regulations.
What is out of order, Honorable Justice?
Madam Chair.
But tell me, first of all, what is out of order?
Yeah, Madam Chair, the Honorable Patrick did mention that the Honorable Patrick Makali, his namesake, is looking at himself as the governor. The Honorable Patrick Makali is a member of parliament and is doing his due
He's
role
not
as
called
a member of
Patrick,
parliament.
he's called Dr. Makali.
Yeah, Dr. Makali. Thank you. But that was, so I want the Honorable Patrick to withdraw the statement, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Actually, initially I thought he's casting aspersions on the Honorable Makali, but I also thought that it's positive in a way. So I didn't want him to withdraw, but there is something you are suggesting that the Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu is making laws in anticipation that he's going to be the governor for Kitui. I think I would like to give him a chance. Honorable Makali Mulu, is that the situation you are putting this house to?
You know, Honorable Chairperson, what I'm saying, and I don't mind the compliment. By the way, I will be the governor. That is not a big deal. But the issue, Honorable Chair, is this. You know, when you make you make law, you have an act of parliament. Now, to make the act of parliament be operational, you do the regulations. So I'm saying, now when you talk about county governments being tied, not even to make any law in accordance with the regulations, you are going to a lower level which will tie their hands. That's why we are saying Mutunga would have stopped at the act, so that once you have an act of parliament, then that act of parliament will guide them when it comes to doing their own local law, which will now also enable them to do their own regulations. But once you have the regulation at this national level, you've already tied their hands. And that has nothing to do with whether I will be governor or not. It has something to do with the drafting of the law, which I think we are not getting it right.
Actually, the Honorable B.T. Selachi had put it very well. But now that I'm seated here and I do not have any power to say a word on this, I give a chance to the chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I think it is very clear to all of us that once this law is assented to implement the law, we will need regulations. And the regulations will be a detailed interpretation of this law in form of actions to be taken. County government can rely on this law and then they miss the detail in the interpretation of the implementation of the law. That's why we are capturing even the regulations so that they are properly guided.
Honorable members, before I now approach the question, I would like to recognize our visitors seated in the public gallery this morning. We have students from Ginda Mixed Secondary School from Maragua constituency in Moranga County. We also have students this morning from Siwot Secondary School, Narok South constituency in Narok County. And I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Tutu to welcome students from the two schools and other students in our
Thank you,
galleries.
Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome the students to the premises of Parliament. Siwot Secondary School is a school from my constituency, Amalo sub-county, and is a school which has really made us very proud. They have been performing very well in their exams. It's one of our biggest schools in the sub-county. And I would like to encourage them to keep on upholding the high standard of discipline and hard work. And I want to promise them that there is a good future for them. They are promising potential members of parliament, doctors, and other prominent Kenya in future. So they should feel welcome and all school. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, the Honorable Kibagendi.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me this opportunity to also welcome these wonderful students to this august house. It is a demonstration that these are students from schools that are indeed disciplined, because as you are aware, a majority of our schools have gone on rampage and they are home. Those that are here is a demonstration that they are taking their studies seriously. We truly appreciate them, and we encourage them to continue studying and working hard so that they can also become leaders in this country. And for that matter, I would like to encourage students from across the country and even parents that we need to ensure that our children are disciplined so that as we go forward into the third term, we do not have the kind of challenges we've had this particular season, so that students can sit for their exams in a peaceful environment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kibagendi. Honorable members, I now put the question. Oh, Chair. Okay. On students.
Well, Chair, let me say something extra, not really on students, but concerning the students and all of us. Chair, in this country, we gave ourselves a constitution, 2010. We gave ourselves excess freedom for anybody to say anything, anytime, concerning anyone. Chair, we lost respect for status, we lost respect for age, we lost respect for anything. And that is why our children are also losing respect for being in school. Kids are deciding not to go to school, and they say we are not going, and we are going home, and they go home. Chair, I can declare interest here. I'm an investor in education as a family business. Last night we never slept because we didn't want to give the students a chance to burn the school. They were agitating. They had to be released this morning. We cannot have that. And Chair, when somebody of our age and status stands and calls anybody any name, we have lost everything. We need to restore our respect for status, our respect for age, our respect for parentage. Kids tell their parents anything today, which is really wrong. So these students who are here, I think it is good for us to start spreading the good message. Stick in school, do your work as a student, finish up, go out there if you want to be a politician, become anything, because that is the stage at which you are, and that is what you should be taking up then. I come from a community which has a saying that you should not pull anything that is not at your stage. Don't pull it down, find it there. Chair, we need to look at ourselves as a country. We are losing almost everything. By the way, we are becoming careless with our intonations, with our words, with our comments, with our accusations, with our attacks, with everything. Even in this house, people come here not to debate objectively. They come here to attack others, to attack the government just for the sake of it. So we need to revisit our lost orientation as a people, as a nation, and at our different ages and stages. Thank you, Chair.
The Honorable Mwago, you would like to make a comment? Honorable Amos Mwago, member for Starehe constituency.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me this opportunity as a local area member of parliament to welcome these students to Starehe constituency and parliament at large. And I would like to join my friend in telling them that they can be anything they want to be in the world, and they can achieve whatever levels of success they might admire. I join my friend in beseeching them to desist from this temptation of the current unrest in schools. And I like to join my friend in congratulating them that they are still in school. That's a good thing. There's a wave of unrest in the whole country, and this thing is happening everywhere, in every corner of this country. And I think it is time for us as leaders also to try analyze this issue and understand where the problem is coming from. Because it's not good to always tell them to be disciplined, whereas we are not even looking at the issue, the core cause of all this unrest. I find it paradoxical that we are trying to tell these people to be disciplined and we are not addressing their issues. I found it very astonishing for a government officer to say that they are not going to condole in discipline in schools, whereas we've not listened to what these students have to say, their issues. So basically, I think us as leaders, we should try and give an ear to these students so that we understand, because another life lost is is just too many lives lost. We cannot take chances. I also tend to disagree with the education committee that decided that they cannot send students home for earlier closure. But I think that would be the most adequate step as of now, because you cannot risk losing other students to fires. So basically, I think I put this challenge to us as leaders. We really need to address this issue once and for all. We cannot afford to be losing students in schools. We really need to listen to them and know their problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Honorable members, I see a lot of people want to make comments on this, and you know that if you want to discuss this, it can only be an adjournment motion where you can say everything that you want to say. So for that reason, I would like us to go back to the committee of the whole, our house. So I am now going to put the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 37 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I pose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 39.
I propose the question that clause 39 be part of the bill. Honorable Sero?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose that the recommendations as per the order paper be adopted by this House. The justification being, this will ensure that the Cabinet Secretary makes guidelines on remuneration and does not assume, I think there was a typo error there, assume the role of the Salaries and the Remuneration Committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. The Honorable Naomi Wako, member for Marsabit and Whip. The Honorable Beatrice Elachi, is it on this or it was on the earlier one? So, honorable members. Okay, the Honorable Kamuren.
Thank you, Chair. In this, I support this first of all, but I want to call that the concerned authority to come up with these guidelines on services, on fees for these extension service officers, so that they cannot exploit the farmers and the services they are rendering. It is really very important. We have seen before, and mostly farmers have a lot of challenges, and because there is no formula across the counties, it is really very necessary that this concern should be implemented as soon as possible. I support.
The Honorable Susan Kiamba, member for Makwiny. Not on this one. Do I assume that Beatrice Elachi, you have an intervention? Not on this. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Osero. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 39 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 3A.
So I give a chance to the chair or the mover to move the second reading of this new clause. That is new clause 3A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the performance of the functions and exercise.
Chair, Honorable, start by now moving this clause. I now move the clause 3A be read a second time.
I now move that the clause 3A be read a second time.
Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 3A be now read a second time. I do not see any interest in this, so I now put the question that new clause 3A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 3A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? The reason I'm moving, honorable members, is that I do not see any interest. So I'll proceed. I now put the question that new clause 3A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 12A.
Mover, please go ahead and move the second reading of new clause 12A.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 12A be read a second time.
New clause.
New clause 12A be read a second time.
Thank you. Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 12A be now read a second time. Honorable members, I do not see any interest in this, so I go ahead and put the question that new clause 12A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 12A be part of the bill. I do not see an interest, so I now put the question that new clause 12A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 12B.
Madam Chair, I now propose that the new clause 12B be read a second time.
Honorable members, I propose the question that new clause 12B be now read a second time. I do not see any interest in this, so I now put the question that new clause 12B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 12B be part of the bill. The Honorable Patrick, member for Chuka Igambangombe.
Chair, mine was just a small observation on 12A and the reasons for removal.
No, we already we are past 12A.
I'm saying because 12B is concerning the appointment, the replacement after you are removed in section 12A. So it is still pertains on the same. It's very important when we see that somebody will be removed for convening provisions of the Constitution, because, Madam Chair, we have government appointees in this country who have no regard for the Constitution at all. They just learn as are more counted there. So this provision is very important, that if you contravene the Constitution, you are thrown out. I support.
Thank you. Justice Keme.
In addition, Chair, it's not just the Constitution. We know the Constitution is the overall guiding document for the nation. But in addition to that, if a person contravenes the laws of the land, then that person also should be removed from office. I submit, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that clause 12B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 14A.
I propose the question that new clause 14A be, I would like to call upon the mover first to move the second reading of new clause 14A.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 14A be read a second time.
Chair, would you like to inform the House what that clause is about?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the bill lacked the powers of the board completely. So we are to bring in the powers of the board. That is why 14A is proposed for adoption at this particular stage. We came up with the entire continuum of the powers of the board, which was completely missing from the bill itself.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 14A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 14A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 14A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 14A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New part 4A.
I call upon the mover to move the second reading of new part 4A. Mover?
Madam Chair, I move that the new part 4A be read a second time.
Honorable members, I now put the question that new part 4A be now read a second time. Honorable members, I propose the question that new part 4A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 4A, new part 4A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new part 4A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 4A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31A.
I call upon the mover to move the second reading of new clause 31A.
Madam Chair, I now propose that new clause 31A be read a second time.
Would you like to say something about it? Chair?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, this particular clause basically establishes the National Agriculture and Livestock Extension Service Data Center. This data center is the one that will source all the data from the various generating sources, the universities, the research institutions, the extension service providers, professionals, the farmers' organizations, international agriculture and research organizations, and any other body, including KEFIS. So anybody is included in this particular continuum. And this center, that is basically establishing the center itself, and then we will move on
Thank
to
you.
the next.
Honorable members, I move that new clause 31A be now read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 31A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 31A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is a habit. I now propose the question that new clause 31A be part of the bill. The Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi, member for Vuori.
Madam Speaker, you know, the Dr. was very clear because...
Are we pronouncing the constituency properly? Not Vuori, but Vuori.
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 Yes. Madam Speaker, like I said, I come from an agricultural constituency and large-scale farming in Meru, and that's why I was very keen on the matters relating to pests. I know there's a bill that is coming on that, but I was feeling that it needs to be part of the kind of data that we're also going to correct. But I think one of the things that has been missing in this country is data that enables determination of policies and decisions allowed the agricultural sector. This is coming handy because now moving forward, we have a data depository center where we can go and do learn on the trends and the other activities related to agriculture and livestock. So I support this amendment fully.
Thank you. The Honorable Dorothy Kiara, nominated member.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I too support a data collection center. It's equally very, very key because with this particular institute, the data collection center, it will enable for proper planning even for future. So I do support.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Brighton Yegon, member for Konoin.
I also want to support establishment of a National Agricultural Extension Service data center because this is a center where all the relevant services will be stationed and all the data related to livestock and extension service will be placed. I support.
Thank you very much, member for Konoin. Honorable members, I now propose the question that new clause 31A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is a habit.
New clause 31B.
Mover, move the second reading for clause 31C.
Madam Chair, I now move that clause.
I want to take that again. Move the second reading for clause 31B.
Madam Chair, and I propose that clause 31B on the functions of the center be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31B be now read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 31B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Honorable members, are we together? I put the question again. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. There is a habit. I now propose the question that new clause 31B be part of the bill. There be no interest. I put the question that new clause 31B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is a habit.
New clause 31C.
Mover, move the second reading for new clause 31C.
Madam Chair, and I propose that clause 31C that deals with the administration of the data center be read a second time.
A comment on that for the benefit of members, being a new clause? Could be from the chairman.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, the data center will need structure and administration in terms of the staffing within to manage the data itself, the sourcing mechanism, the storage mechanism to ensure that there is easy storage, easy retrieval, because that is the purpose of extension information. It should be easily retrieved and very specifically packaged in terms of the domains that they focus.
I propose the question that new clause 31C be now read a second time. Honorable members, I now put the question that new clause 31C be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new clause 31C be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31C be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31D.
Mover move second reading of new clause 31D.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will now propose that new clause 31D that deals with the registration of users of that center be read a second time.
Honorable members, I now put the question that new clause 31D be read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 31D be now read a second time. Honorable members, I do not see any interest in this, so I now put the question that new clause 31D be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31D be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31D be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we proceed, I would like to recognize our guests. Seated in the speakers gallery this morning, we have students from AIC Morop Girls High School from Rongai constituency, Nakuru County. Thank you. We also have students from Ngombit Primary / Junior School from Laikipia East constituency in Laikipia County. And honorable members, I would like to give a chance to the member for Vori, the Honorable Rindikiri, to welcome students from the
Thank you.
schools.
The reason why I lost is because I border Laikipia East and Gobit is what we call an extension of our community in Laikipia. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome all the students from the two institutions and tell them this is the House of Parliament where most likely one of you will be in the future. We ask you to study as much as possible to know what's going on here. And when you go back, you tell your colleagues or your fellow students what you have seen. I will only request you, you made the right decision to be here in Parliament, not at home, because some of your colleagues are at home right now because of the student unrest. I will plead with you, please, if you discipline yourself today, your future is bright tomorrow. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Rindikiri Mugambi.
New part 4B.
Mover, move the second reading for new part 4B.
34B. Thank you, Madam Chair. I now move that new clause 34B be part of the.
I would like you to take that again
sorry.
so that you put the part well.
part
It is
4B.
new part 4B.
Yes. Madam Chair, I move that part 4B on the Agriculture and Livestock Diagnostic Center be read a second time.
Thank you. Honorable members, I propose the question that new part 4B be now read a second time. I do not see any interest, so I now put the question that new part 4B be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that new part 4B be part of the bill. I now put the question that new part 4B be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31E.
Mover, move the second reading for new clause 31E.
Madam Chair, I now move that clause number 31E dealing with the establishment of the Agricultural Diagnostic Center be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31E be now read a second time. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chair. The entire agricultural extension delivery is based on diagnosis of the problem, relay of the problem sourcing of these answers, and the relay of the answers to the caller. So the diagnostic center is positioned at the county level and could also be developed based on the intensity of activities of agriculture in a county, is the one that will be diagnosing or rather interpreting what problems farmers present. The structure is such that if farmers find crops drying up, they can take a photograph, send it to the diagnostic center. The diagnostic center will know this is what is affecting this crop. Then they will source for the solution from the data center, which is the National Data Center.
Thank you. The honorable member for Igamba Ngombe, Chuka Igamba Ngombe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I stand to support this new clause and with a lot of emphasis because agriculture is largely a devolved function. And when we have a national data center and then we don't provide a mechanism of how the national data center will be fed from the county government, then we'll be having an ineffective law. So these are very good clause, Madam Chair, because county governments have the greatest responsibility on matters agriculture. They understand the specificity of various counties and what they do in agriculture. And so they are best placed to generate data that comes to the national data center. So this is a very good clause, Madam Chair, and I just wish that county governments will go on and establish these diagnostic centers. Thank you, and I support.
Thank you, honorable members. I put the question that new clause 31E be now read a second time. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31E be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31E be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31F.
Mover, move the second reading for clause 31F. New clause 31F.
Madam Chair, I now move that clause 31F.
New clause
31F that deals with the functions of the diagnostic center at the county be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31F be now read a second time. The honorable Ndikiri Mugambi, member for Buri.
I think for the first time, and I really want to commend this committee because where this bill originated, they seem to have left a very important part. And I applaud the committee for really taking keen interest. Madam Speaker, one of the things that I've noticed here is the linkage between the national, the county, and also the international research organizations. Because we are now a global village. So the linking ourselves from the international organization, it's not good for us. So by pulling in this linkage, I think we are on the right trajectory in as far as the services that are being brought are concerned. I thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I put the question that new clause 31F be now read a second time. Will as many as other opinions say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31F be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 31F be part of the bill. Will as many as other that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 31G.
Now move the second reading for new clause 31G.
Madam Chair, I now propose the new clause 31G that deals with where the diagnostic center shall be domiciled and administered from be read a second time.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose the question that new clause 31G be now read a second time. I do not see any interest, so I put the question that new clause 31G be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new clause 31G be part of the bill. There be no interest, I go ahead to put the question, which is that the new clause 31G be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. You can approach the chair. Chairman, please approach the table.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chairman, approach the table, please. Chairman, I understand you have a recommittal of clause 10, or it is the mover, the Honorable Osero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do a report to the House. Its consideration of the agriculture and livestock.
Order, Honorable Osero. Chair, did you have anything on clause 10?
Yes. 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 Yes.
So if you have a recommittal or in clause 10, can we deal with that first before we go to the Honorable Osero?
Do you know what's inside that pre-packaged food? Those ultra-processed foods high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats are driving diseases like diabetes, cancer, and high blood pressure. Your family deserves real food, not hidden harm.